Unafraid Show. Reister wrong. Your boy George Reister here. Took a day off yesterday. Had to get some new things in the works for the unafraidshow.com website. So go visit that. Lots of good articles up there. Make sure you check them out. Make sure that you enjoy. Today is the episode number 199. This is the Tom Brady episode. Yeah, the Tom Brady episode. He was the 199th pick. So, of course, this is the GOAT episode, the greatest unafraid show of all time. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm George Reister. Please make sure you like the feed, share the feed, continue the conversation. What we got on track for you guys today is LaVar Ball starting a new league called the JBL, the Junior Basketball League. It's for high schoolers who want to skip college and get ready for the NBA. High school football recruits, they're going crazy right now. There are decommitments, commitments all over the place because early National Signing Day started yesterday. And what I noticed is that people have continuously started to be bothered by the commitments and the decommitments of these high school athletes. So we're going to talk about that as well. Also, is there a real chance that Mayweather is going to fight in the MMA? I know so many people are excited about that, but we'll talk about that as well. And also another interesting fight that could potentially happen that is more likely, that is reasonably likely, I should say, is Pacquiao versus McGregor. I know you guys are excited about that. So we'll talk about that because I took a poll a few weeks ago to see if anybody even thought that McGregor actually had a chance. I think 13,000 people responded, and the response was kind of interesting. But we're going to get started out first with a couple quick hitters. Number one, the Lakers are going somewhere. Excited about them. They beat the Rockets last night, almost beat the Warriors. I know they didn't have Steph Curry and Draymond Green, but they still almost won. Took them into overtime. And Kyle Kuzma, LaVar Ball, Brandon Ingram, oh man, that group of young men is looking good. And LeBron is going to be happy to play with those guys after this season. He's going to be happy to move to LA and come play with them. The other thing, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they sent out their engagement photos. I know you're excited about that. You guys make sure you send your comments in. We will get to those as well. But where we're going to start today is LaVar Ball and the Big Baller brand, the Big Baller League that they announced yesterday. So I had a few initial thoughts about the Big Baller League when I first heard about it. First thing I thought was, wait, hold up, this is not true. Somebody's just trolling. But then it went on and I was like, hold up. He's creating a league for high school kids who want to skip college and get ready for the NBA. So while on its face, it looks like a terrible idea that won't work. I mean, that's everybody's initial thought of it. And then once I got more of the details about it, I was like, okay, hold up. He's going to pay these kids in between $3,000 and $10,000 a month. But mind you, he's probably not the person putting up the money for this. He's probably not. I mean, he's probably like the Derek Jeter owning the Marlins. Like this is 4%. Or Magic Johnson owning the Dodgers. They don't actually own the Dodgers. They're not the majority owner. You know, they own a piece, but they're not the big dog in the actual money equation. They just have the public persona and the public face to this. And one of the things I wanted to say initially is that one of these days, because LaVar Ball gets a lot of hate, is that one of these days y'all are going to have to stop doubting a man with a plan. Like, it's time for y'all to kill the LaVar Ball hate. Yay, make some mistakes. I will admit that. The man is not perfect. But he gets it right very often. And he's a visionary who's forging new territory. Like, when you look at what Steve Jobs did, he was a disruptor in the market, created an iPhone, phone with no buttons. Everybody thought it was crazy, it was nonsense, it'll never work. Now you try finding a phone with buttons. Try finding a BlackBerry anywhere, a new one. Not happening. They said it wouldn't work. It worked. He's disrupting the market. So you should actually be excited and applaud a man like that. Oh, but George, he's a racist and a misogynist. No, he wasn't a misogynist. Like when you look at what he said to Christine Leahy, He would have said that to a man that attacked his family. Just a few days prior to that, she had just said his kids were like little lapdogs and afraid of him. So hell yeah, if you come at me about my parenting and saying that my kids are afraid of me and like dissing them, guess what? I'm gonna tell you to stay in your lane too. So I'm not down for the misogyny talk. I can't hear it because he would have said that to anybody else around on earth. The racist talk though, what he said about the white kids at UCLA, it's funny because I tweeted, I said, somebody asked me specifically about it. And I said, well, no, I don't think he's racist. His wife is white. And somebody came back and said, oh, is that the new version of, oh, I have a black friend? So I had to give a little bit of a laugh to that. But back to the league, though. LaVar Ball better make sure that he has security. I mean, like, this is real talk. Like, he needs to make sure that he has security for himself and for his family. Because the NCAA and the powers that be that make $1 billion off of March Madness are going to come at him and his family with everything they have. With everything they have. And why wouldn't they? You're messing with $1 billion industry. Just 3 weeks of basketball, they make $1 billion. So yes, they're going to come at you, LaVar Ball, if you're trying to take some of their labor force, their free labor force. They're underpaid workforce. Yes, they get a scholarship, but that is nowhere near commensurate with the work and the income that they generate. You guys make sure you swipe up, share the feed now. So LaVar Ball better get security because there are people have gotten killed for less than this or lives destroyed for less than $1 billion. And the NCAA is not exactly an above board organization all the time. And you have nefarious people who have interests as well that you must, I mean, like, I know that this sounds like crazy conspiracy talk, but it's not. Like, it's not it's not out of the realm of possibility to believe that this man should actually fear for his safety on some level, being that he's trying to disrupt a $1 billion 3-week business. It's not. It's a serious thing. But the league itself, the Big Baller League, the JBL, supposed to pay these kids between $3,000 and $10,000 per month. And it's supposed to be 10 teams, 80 kids. Only downside to this is that 80 kids aren't going to be drafted. First of all, there's only 60 people drafted. And if you're taking high school kids that would get Division I scholarships and you're taking them and you're making them professionals, they then cannot go back and play college basketball, which is a problem because it's good for if you have like a Marvin Bagley who's at Duke. Yeah, that might be great news for him. Might be a good move for him. But for other kids who think that they're going to be one and done, and then they get to college and they figure out, you know what? I probably should stay here for a little while. Those are the kids that can be negatively impacted by this. And that I didn't really like so much. And the second thing that I had a little bit of an issue with the Big Baller League is that I feel like LaVar Ball is a man who is doing too much right now in terms of, so he's got the Big Baller brands, trying to build a company, a shoe company, a clothing company, all at the same time, which is a huge undertaking. But then to turn around and try to develop a league at the same time, oh, that's tough. That is tough. Not saying the man can't do it, but what I learned from being in business myself is that before you extend yourself to something else, make sure that you finish or perfect the business that you're already in. So that would be my question with Big Baller Brand. Is he spreading himself too thin with going into the league business as well as trying to build the Big Baller Brand, even though all the players in the league would have to wear a Big Baller Brand? Smart move. Ice Cube's Big 3 has been successful. With old NBA players, not sure why young high schoolers could not be successful as well. Next thing up with the high schoolers, though. With the high schoolers, college football early signing day. We're going to get to that in a minute. But first up, somebody just commented, if he's successful, the NCAA will pay the players. Infrastructure will take time for big baller brand. I agree. Like, this is going to put a lot of pressure on the NCAA, which, again, is why the man should fear for his safety on some level, because people are not going to like the fact that they're going to have to actually, like, pony up and pay. The NCAA does not want that. They want to keep the quote-unquote amateur athletics. Okay, next thing up we're going to get to is we're going to get to the college football early signing day with these commits and the decommits. That's what's, like, interesting, is that I have a friend who is a coach. He's a coach. He works with a lot of these high school football kids on the passing league circuit and all that. And every time, like, a big name kid decommits, he sends me a message. He sends me a message and says, oh yeah, check out this kid. He decommitted. And yesterday that kid was a kid who just committed to Florida State. And he just got an offer for them on Tuesday. I think his name is Jaden Woodley. He's a 5-star. He flipped from Ohio State, flipped down to Florida State. And he was just offered last Tuesday. And I don't understand why people are continuously bothered by high school committing and decommitting, like, regularly. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. It would have. And I would encourage my kid to wait until he was absolutely sure to commit. However, these kids have to make good, smart decisions for their life. And the coaches make things change. They change schools. They get fired. They bring on different staff. They change locations. I mean, look at what happened at Oregon, Florida State, Mississippi State this year. Oregon's coach left and went to Florida State. Florida State's coach left and went to Texas A&M. Mississippi State's coach left and went to Florida. I mean, come on. Like, and you expect kids to not decommit? Of course you do, because they want to play for a specific coach. Some other coaches may not fit their system. I mean, they may not fit in the coach's system. And you expect them to stay loyal? No, the coaches aren't loyal. The NCAA isn't loyal. So why on earth would you expect high school kids to be loyal? You shouldn't. You shouldn't even expect it. You should actually say bravo to them for doing what's best for their situation. Because guess what? The coaches always are. Universities always are going to do what is best for them. Whether you're Florida State, whether you're Miami, Mississippi State, whoever it is, they're going to do what's best for them. Yeah, and Andrew Fletcher just said UCLA did just have a recruit decommit because the coaches said he didn't fit their system. This dude was a 4 or 5-star kid, really good athlete, a defensive tackle, I believe, or a defensive end. He didn't fit their system. So why on earth would you care about a recruit decommitting? Think about this. This is the absolute last time that kids will have the leverage to make a decision about their future unless they go pro and then hit free agency. So this is the last time that you have any leverage or decision making about your future. Because once you sign up, transferring becomes a booger, buddy. You either got to sit out a year, you got to graduate and then transfer. So you don't have a whole lot of options. So you lose your leverage once you commit to a school and sign your national letter of intent. And then if you're one of the 265 out of the 12,000 seniors every year that finish playing college football, and you're lucky enough to get drafted, and you go to the NFL, you don't have leverage over where you go. Unless you're one every now and then, like Eli Manning bullied his way out of San Diego to get drafted by the New York Giants. You're going to have no more leverage. So take the leverage while you have it. I have no problem with it. Oh, but these kids aren't loyal to our school. So what? On a side note, I have to give Willie Taggart some credit and Dabo Swinney some credit. These two dudes just flipped Ohio State commits to go to their school. That's what you call in the game. That's what you call mouthpiece. That's that good, slick talking, salesman, all of that. And when you do that, yes, you do need to be a great coach to win championships. However, you do not need to be as great of a coach when you get top tier recruits all the time. Do I think Nick Saban's a great coach? Yeah. But is he Phil Jackson of college football? Yeah. You're playing with you're playing with all aces, you know, and it's hard to get beat. You got to get a royal flush to beat you. Got to get a straight flush to beat you. He's playing with quad aces all the time. You know, it is what it is, though. Yeah, so these high school commits, I do not mind them decommitting at all. And yeah, we don't know who Florida State's defensive coordinator is going to be, but whoever he is, he's going to inherit a good situation, a great situation. And, yeah, I just love college football, and I want it to be better, but I don't mind what the kids are doing. Next thing up, can you believe it? So I tweeted out a poll last week or 2 weeks ago about the rumors about Manny Pacquiao fighting Conor McGregor. It got probably one of the most voted on polls I've ever put out. Like 13,000 people voted. I asked if they believed that Manny Pacquiao had a chance versus Conor McGregor. I'm sorry, if Conor McGregor had a chance versus Manny Pacquiao. And I think like 40% of the people said that they believed that McGregor had a shot. That's significantly lower than the people that thought he had a shot versus Mayweather. Because Mayweather showed and proved that an MMA guy cannot come in there and fight a boxer. But before we even get into that fight, yesterday we heard news that Mayweather might fight in the MMA. What? Mayweather might fight in the MMA. I mean, think about this. Mayweather fighting in MMA, in the UFC, could be his biggest payday. It could be his biggest payday of his entire career. I mean, this goes above the $300-400 million that he made against fighting Pacquiao, and then turn around and fight McGregor. Bigger than both of those paydays. Why? Because he's polarizing. Think about all the people. The reason why Mayweather makes so much money is because he is polarizing. People want to see the man lose. And people will believe that if he gets in the MMA ring, that if he gets in the octagon, that there will be a legitimate chance that he could lose that match. People will be excited to see it. They might pay... Who knows what they'll pay? $1,500? I'm sorry, $150 for a pay-per-view match just to see Floyd Mayweather lose? What? I know at least 1,000 people that have commented that would sign up for that in a heartbeat. They would happily sign up to see Mayweather get beat or potentially get beat. I mean, that would be the satisfaction that they wanted, was seeing his demise, and they've been denied 50 times, and they might actually get it now. Because on Periscope, he said that Dana White in the MMA called him not too long ago and asked him to come back. This is Floyd Mayweather. He said, I can come back to the UFC. I could do a 3 or 4 fight deal in the octagon and make $1 billion. Or I could go in the octagon and fight Conor McGregor and make $1 billion. And guess what? We're all going to sign up. I mean, but this is what Mayweather does, because Dana White got on TV and he said, oh, yeah, this is a possibility for him to fight, all of this stuff. And then Mayweather came down and kind of squashed it. Because this is what he does. If you notice what Floyd Mayweather does before every fight, there's some sort of leak or speculation about who he's going to fight. When he was finally going to fight Pacquiao, they, quote unquote, met at a Clippers game. And then when he was going to fight Conor McGregor, that was rumored for a while. He does that to build anticipation and gauge how much money he's going to be able to make from a fight. And if it's not enough, it gets shut down. If it's not enough, it's not going to happen. But this was to gauge your interest. But the question is, who would he fight, though? Because people say that Floyd cherry picks his opponents. But, I mean, he's fought everybody that is a big name in boxing. But who could he fight? He's been called out on Twitter by Demetrius Johnson, who is probably one of the best, if not the best, UFC fighter of all time, because I'm throwing John Jones out because John Jones can't stay clean. I used to like him, but John Jones, dead to me right now. I wish the man the best, but come on, man. Like, you let us down so many times. Like, I want you to do better, but damn, man, you keep breaking my heart. So could he fight Demetrius Johnson? The other person that called him out on Twitter was Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor got on, mind you, here's the part that I want you to show the showmanship in this and the building up of this, and Conor McGregor gets it, is that Conor McGregor has an image. Being bold, saying whatever the hell he wants to, right or wrong, politically incorrect, he can do what he wants. That's Conor McGregor's image. So he posted a picture of himself with 2 belts on, 2 UFC championship belts, and said pussy on it. Directed at Floyd Mayweather, saying that he's scared of fighting him in the MMA. Why was that smart? Think about this. Floyd Mayweather just bought a new mansion out here in Beverly Hills or Bel Air or whatever it is. And he's got a damn giant painting of Conor McGregor in the house. Are you kidding me? So, and you think that this is disrespect coming from Conor McGregor? No, this is a smart business move. This is a smart business move. These two dudes like each other. It is impossible to dislike somebody that helped you make $100 million if you're Conor McGregor. It is impossible. Try to find a way to dislike somebody, even if somebody helped you make $100 million that you could never make on your own. It's different if they cheated you out of some business like Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg and some of his friends that had to sue him. No, they did you a solid and gave you $100 million. There's no way you could actually hate that person. It's impossible. It's impossible. But the fight that he could turn around and do, though, is CM Punk. That would be an interesting draw. Because CM Punk used to be a WWE fighter. Or WWE get the F out. I still love that slogan. I did. When the World Wildlife Federation made the WWF change their name to WWE, I used to love when they say WWE, get the F out. Oh my God, it was great. Side note, so CM Punk is a fighter. That'd be a good move. I would love to see that as well. And it would be a good tipping off point if he were going to do the 2 to 3 fight match. Love it. These are like exhibitions that people will pay for them. But the other exhibition that people would pay for that I talked about for a second is Manny Pacquiao versus Conor McGregor. I think that this fight, from things that I've heard, that this fight is significantly more likely than the Mayweather fighting in the UFC. That this fight could actually happen. McGregor is used to these big checks, these big boxing checks that he couldn't get in the UFC. Nothing even close to it, because the UFC is stingy with its bread for its fighters. That's the truth, compared to boxing, because they don't have the same licensing and promotion ability that boxers have at this point in time. So this is a big money fight, and Manny Pacquiao needs the money. The man has made $300 million in purses, but still needs the money, which is sad to me. Because it's not quite as sad when you see a guy like Mike Tyson who made $300 million and lost it. It's more sad than when you see a guy like Pacquiao when you know how or why he lost it. How or why he lost it. He lost it because he's too giving. He gives away a lot of his money. And when after fights, he's in the Philippines, when he goes back, people are standing at his gates and won't leave until he pays them. This is where the pressure of being Manny Pacquiao has like come back to bite him in the butt, because you want to help the Filipino people, you want to help so many people, and then you end up in a place where nobody's going to help you on the back end. Hopefully he ends up president of the Philippines so he can be taken care of for life, because he's done a lot for the country. But wouldn't you love to see this fight, though? And don't you, in some kind of way, because Manny Pacquiao's skills have fallen off a little bit, he just lost to Jeff Horn, even though everybody widely agrees that he got cheated. He's 59, 7-2. He's 39 years old. This looks like a fight that Conor McGregor can win. It does. I mean, when you look at the point since Manny Pacquiao got saved, sold his nightclubs, other investments, he's got to fight. Now Conor McGregor shows up. People look at Floyd. Floyd carried him. Yes, Floyd carried Conor McGregor for the first 6-7 rounds of the fight, until he decided he wanted to stop him. Gave the fans their money's worth. Now fans that were like, oh, I'm not buying a fight again after the Pacquiao fight with Mayweather, they were like, oh yeah, I'm in. Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor is a fight that people believe that Conor McGregor can win, and that's why they will show up and buy it. Watch that market, because I think it's happening. Another thing I think is interesting in sports that we're seeing, like when we see people fall from grace, has anybody had a quicker fall from grace than Derek Jeter? Derek Jeter, who people used to like lament me and like be upset with me for that he was not in my top 5 baseball players of all time, and Alex Rodriguez was. Think about this. Oh, wait, I will agree with that comment. Somebody said it's like the Rocky series with Pacquiao. He just doesn't know when to quit. Yeah, it's tough, man. Derek Jeter, though. People used to get on my case for saying that Alex Rodriguez was in my top 3 baseball players of all time. First of all, A-Rod's just better. He is. Like, the captain, Derek Jeter, just has a better image. Because my top 3 baseball players of all time, as I've said, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., A-Rod, in that order, period, end of story. Don't talk to me about no PEDs. Don't want to hear it. They were great baseball players, some of the greatest that ever lived. But Derek Jeter is one of the most beloved sports figures in baseball history, but he's turned into one of the most hated baseball people in sports in the last few months of being the CEO of the Marlins and partial owner. And he's a human shield for Bruce Sherman, their owner. Think about what the people have gone through in Miami. Like, Dan Le Batard is going absolutely berserk. Absolutely berserk. He went berserk on Manfred in an interview yesterday, and I loved it because it was no softballs. Like, it was Roger Clemens versus Barry Bonds in the World Series. I loved it. If you don't know what's going on, so the Yankees, well, the Marlins traded Giancarlo Stanton, Mr. Hit the baseball out of the park. Ridiculously. Yep. Hit it out of the park. Every time. Yep. He goes to the Yankees to bat with Aaron Judge. Absolutely. That looks like a monster win for the Yankees. But for the Marlins, they traded away Stanton, Ozuna, and D. Gordon. So now they are no longer competitive. No longer competitive at all. And they're going into tanking. And the people of South Florida are pissed off because the team sold for $1.2 billion after the taxpayers footed the $500 million bill for the stadium. And that's whack. And that's super whack because I've been on record as saying, I loved when Eric Garcetti, the mayor of LA, said that the city is not paying for an NFL stadium. Why should any city sign up to pay for part of a professional league's stadium? Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. So the next time you're voting on whether taxpayers should, in your city, pay for an NFL stadium, say no. These owners, like, this is not 30, 40 years ago where you could buy a franchise for 10, 20, $30 million. No, these men are billionaires. They have the money, the resources, and the connections to buy their own stadium. They have all those connections. So why on earth would you foot the bill through your taxes as a citizen to get a team in your city? Hell no. That makes no sense at all. Like, and that's why when you look at why the 200 angry season ticket holders were pelting Jeter with questions. They're like, hold up, what the hell are you doing? We have not been to the playoffs since 2003. You traded when we won this World Series, and you traded away our 3 best players? Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. When you look at, like, the Miami Marlins, they've won 2 World Series, 97 and 2003. Mind you, like, the Cleveland Indians haven't won. Minnesota Twins haven't won. I mean, like, there have been multiple. The Cubs didn't win till last year and hadn't won in 108 years. So, like, it doesn't feel like that Miami's a city. The Miami Marlins are a team, or the Florida Marlins at that time, are a team that really is a championship quality city team. Like, nobody believes that because their history doesn't dictate that. Like, it says they've won 2 championships, but at the point in time where you dismantle your teams after you win a championship, you're doing a disservice to the community. You're doing a disservice. And that brings me to tanking, because that's exactly what the Florida Marlins are doing. They are tanking. And I don't like tanking in sports. However, it seems at this point in time that tanking is a necessary evil if you are a mid-tier team. If you're a mid-tier team, like a team that doesn't, like a team that is not going to be playoff worthy, like that you're right on the fringe, like you're 8 seed, 7 seed, like you're right in that bubble, but you really don't have a chance to win a championship, blowing it up and starting over seems to be the approach that actually works. Because when you look at what the 76ers and the Lakers have done, it's been successful. It has been 100% successful. Like, you can't argue with it. And when you look at what the Houston Astros did, they just won the World Series. And they were tanking. They tanked. I mean, just think about this. They had in 3 consecutive, 2011 to 2013, they lost 106, 107, and 111 games. I mean, come on, man. Somebody just asked about the discussion about LaVar because they just joined. You're going to have to start the Periscope over. I already talked about it. Talked about it for like 15 minutes. But I'll sort of circle back at the end for you. No problem. That the 76ers, their program with tanking has looked like it worked. They may go to the playoffs this year, and the future is bright. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. I don't know if the new kid Fultz is going to be any good. I mean, and then you look at what the Lakers have done. They got Lonzo Ball, who clearly is showing more flashes now as the season goes along. He's going to be a good player. When you look at Kyle Kuzma, who left school early and people thought he was crazy. Nah, he ain't that damn crazy. He knew he could ball. And both of these teams are going to be prime destinations for LeBron James. So the question is, did your tanking work if you get LeBron James? 100%, because guess what? You're going to be in the finals. You're going to sell tickets. You're going to sell jerseys. You are going to be a premier franchise if you get LeBron James. That's the truth. So, while I hate tanking in sports, it has literally turned into a necessary evil. And if you're a tweener team, you have to do it. And I've told fans this all the time. Like, if you want a great franchise, you cannot be married to your players. You cannot be married to your players at all. You have to be thinking about the bottom line and winning. Like, you have to be thinking about the concessions. You have to be thinking about the parking. You have to be thinking about the jersey sales, TV rights, all of this. You have to make sure that you are winning consistently. And to win consistently, you cannot be married to your players. It sucks for fans because fans have to choose at this point in time. Are you going to choose the organization or are you going to choose the players? If you're a Cleveland Cavs fan, are you a LeBron fan or are you a Cleveland Cavs fan? Because LeBron is going to leave. And so are you going to stick with the team or are you going with LeBron? And nowadays with free agency, it makes people's loyalty be questioned or tried because you do have to choose. Like there is no middle ground between picking a team or loving players. There is no in between because the team can't be married to the players. You have to be willing to get rid of some of your most popular players, some of your best players to make sure that you can continue to put yourself in a position to win. Look at what the Patriots do. The Patriots have a bell cow, a person in Tom Brady. But at the point in time where they believe that Tom Brady is on the way down a little bit, they'll trade his ass away too. They'll trade Tom Brady away. They've traded everybody from Richard Seymour, all pro year, traded him away. Traded Vince Wilfork away. Traded let Deion Branch walk away after he was a Super Bowl MVP. They will let their players walk away because they know the bigger mission is winning every single year, and that's what the fans love. You want the fans to love your team? Win all the time. And that's what the Patriots have been committed to doing. And if you're a team owner, you have to be ruthless. You have to be. Because at no point in time can you put, because remember, the fans are the ones that you have to please. Like, you can't make every move to make them happy, but the things that please fans is one thing, that's winning. They'll stand behind you through scandals. They'll stand behind you through whatever if you win. But don't put them in a position where they have to choose between a player and the team. And they will always choose the team if the team continues to win. The team starts to lose, they'll bail and they'll jump ship on you. As they should. As they should. So what we've been over today is LaVar Ball. So we went over him with his new league. And I've said continuously that people have to stop hating on LaVar Ball. Man's a visionary. And I was a person, I'll admit, I was not in on the LaVar Ball train at first. I had to retrain my thinking and realize, hold up, this man is out here being a disruptor. He's willing to bet on himself. He's not exploiting his kids. Do I think he's making every right decision? No, I don't. But neither did Steve Jobs. Neither did Phil Knight. Neither did other people who are disruptors and visionaries. Because it's real easy to take the safe route. It's real easy to not bet on yourself and take a chance. And LaVar Ball's doing that, and his kids are doing that. So he's teaching his kids to be out in the world and be fearless. And not just take what anybody will give you, even if that thing that they're going to give you looks good. Be willing to bet on yourself and do something great. You got to stop hating on him, but he does need protection from the NCAA because they're coming for him. They're coming for his neck. We talked about Manny Pacquiao to fight Conor McGregor. Talked about and that's actually a more likely fight that you will see because Pacquiao needs the money. McGregor wants the money. He's getting fat. He wants it. He's like, I love that $100 million check. Let me try to get another. So that fight, I believe you will see. The fight I don't think that you will see as much, likely to see as much, is the Mayweather fight in the MMA. While it could be as big as payday and likely would be as big as payday, don't see it happening. And other thing that I think is interesting that I said earlier is that Derek Jeter is one of the most beloved figures in sports. He's fallen from grace with the public, being the Miami Marlins CEO and partial owner in months. I mean, I don't even know if it's been a whole month. Like, it's scary how quick his Q score rating has fallen. And A-Rod's is going like this. They're going in opposite directions. How crazy is that? A-Rod was persona non grata for a while. He was, with the PEDs, the suspensions, was like Tiger Woods, was like a robot, wasn't real personable, like created in a lab. And Derek Jeter was just a good guy going along, doing the right things. Now look at A-Rod. A-Rod is winning right now. He got J-Lo. He's doing well on television, commentating and being an analyst about baseball. The man is winning on every level right now. Seems to have his personal life together, relationship better with his kids. I mean, damn, the man is winning. Derek Jeter, on the other hand, it's going to be a while before he gets another win. I mean, might be a while before he gets some wins on the field. And also, he's not going to get any personal public wins until the Miami Marlins are good. And only God knows if that's going to be anytime soon. Thank you guys for joining me today. Unafraid Show. Right or wrong, please send in your emails to, if you have any comments. unafraidshow@gmail.com. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.